Good afternoon. This is the diamonds and the digits. We're looking at order of operations, rationals review for Math 9 in the PM. I'm your host, Joel Schindel. We're recording. Okay. So, just moving my computer a little bit. There we go. Let's see what we can do with these things. So we have all the skills. We've done order of operations with integers, not fractions. And we've done all the operations, multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting with fractions. So let's see what we can do when we try some more order of operations. I'm just going to do one. We remember BEDMAS. And the first thing I wrote down is, you have decimals, just use a calculator. I'm cool with that, okay? So don't do the decimals the long way. But with fractions, I want to show you to show your work as if you didn't have a calculator, okay? You can use a calculator to check your answers and stuff if you need, if that helps. Okay? This example here has three different operations, three things to do. There's multiplying, it has dividing, and it has addition. So let's think this through. I say work down in blue here. We're not going to work sideways, okay? So I'm going to start working. Now, BEDMAS is brackets. Well, the only brackets here are not those kind of brackets. They're just brackets to make sure you know the negative numbers being multiplied by the next number and stuff. Okay? So, exponents. We don't have any exponents in this. Then division and multiplication is done at the same time from left to right. Okay? Now, the reason why I point that out is that from left to right, multiplication is the first thing we have. We do that right away. Division or multiplication. With BEMDAS doesn't come. So here I go. So if you remember multiplying with fractions, I could reduce this ahead of time, but I think most of you don't, so I'm not going to. Well, do you guys know what I mean by reducing before we even start? Okay, I'm going to take a class poll. How many people here would see that negative 3 out of 4 times 2 out of 6? You can reduce it before you multiply it. I know who does. Or the one person. Who else does? You guys know what I'm talking about? You do too. So you guys do it that way. I'm going to do it the long way because I think this is the way most people will do it. We'll pick up on that other skill later. So here's what I'm talking about. Multiply minus 3 times the 2. Tops with tops, bottoms with bottoms. 4 times 6. Okay? I'm going to write that down. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. The people who know and who self-indicated that they could do this the other way, do it the other way. 4 times 6 is 24. Added 2. I can't do this one in one step. Some people might. But when you divide, you flip the second fraction and multiply. I'm going to take that 1/2, rewrite it, but I'm not going to have a division symbol. I'm going to say times, and I flip the second fraction. It's called the reciprocal, but that doesn't matter. That's the word for flip. Okay? Flip is the way we use it. Now I can do that now. While I'm doing that math, though, I know the old Duncan and Maxwell reduced right off the bat. Is that correct? We are going to think this through. I see this fraction minus 6 over 24. They have 6 24ths. Is there a number that can divide into both 6 and 24? And what's the biggest number possible? He's got one. Some people might say 2. Some people might say 3. I'd say you're both right, but there's even bigger. 6. 6 divided by 6. Well, I'm going to show it not quite like that. I know what it is. I want to, knowing the answer is one thing, but I want everybody to understand. I say, if I divide 6 on the top, I've got to divide 6 on the bottom. I'll do it like this. I'm really dividing by 1, because dividing by 6 out of 6 makes sense. Is dividing by 1. Dividing or multiplying by 1 doesn't officially change the number. It's just an alternate. So I'm putting my green in because that's what I'm thinking. So then what? That first fraction. Negative 6 divided by 6. It's a negative 1. 24 divided by 6. That's a 4. I'm adding that to, and I can do this multiplication here. 1 times 7 on the top is 7. 2 times 6 on the bottom, that's 12. This will take a little bit of paper here to do. There's no shortcut. You got to show a lot of stuff. Okay, I see this. I've done multiplication, I've done division. Now I have to add. And adding is actually tougher than multiplying. Why? Because you need a common denominator. So what I'm looking for is a common block denominator. Between 4 and 12. You always first ask yourself, you're going to tell me what it is? First of all, can the smaller number multiply up to the larger number? And in this case, it can. If it can't, then we do the old crisscross idea or look for a least common multiple. Duncan? He notices right off the bat 4 does multiply up to 12. Go times 3. I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to put, if I do that to the top, I can do this as long as I multiply by a form of 1, 3 over 8. So I'm multiplying the top by 3 and the bottom by 3. That means I'm going to get a 12 on the bottom. I'm going to put that to the other color. Negative 1 times 3 is minus 3. 4 times 3 is 12. The other one stays the same. Now I can do adding or subtracting. I've got a common denominator. And it's still out of 12 automatically. Negative 3 plus 7 on the numerator, on the top. So that's, I think it was 7 minus 3. There's more positives than negatives. Negative 3 plus 7. Right? Plus 7 is bigger, so I know the answer is going to be positive. I don't need to write this, but I'm going to put a little plus sign. Just a reminder. Now, the difference between 7 and 3 is 4, and it's positive. Okay. Done. If I say lowest terms for your answer, you could reduce this fraction again. What can we divide into the top and the bottom? Okay, you're right, the answer. So, we could divide top and bottom by 2, but then you'd have to do it again. The biggest number is 4. I can divide by 4, I can divide by 4. And like you said, is 1 out of 3. So really dividing by 1 is 4 over 4 is divided by 1. That doesn't change the answer, it's just an alternate form, equivalent fraction. I have a very small portion of this assignment for you guys to try. If we can have it, 140, number 4, and number 4, not 14. Number 4 and 14. Decimal ones, do with your calculator. Can you check your answers in the back of the book to make sure you're on the right track when you do this? I'm asking you to. I'm going to stop recording the video. There we go.